school football game of the week. Tonight, it's the first round of the state 3A high school football playoffs as the Tigers from Fred T. Foard come to call on the #1 ranked Wonders from A.L. Brown of Kannapolis. Good evening to you, everyone. Along with Woody Kane, Randy Whitley, and the first round is kind of scary as you got #1 against the #16 seed, but records really don't matter right now. It's a new season. We're all undefeated, and anything can happen.
Well, once you get here, everybody is good. That's why they make the playoffs, and that's why you have to go through the whole season to get to this point. But the weather a little bit warmer than it was last week. That may help. We saw a lot of cramps last week, but Fred T. Foard, no pushover. They have lost only 4 games this season. All 4 of the teams that beat them are in the playoffs.
No shame to lose to Hickory and Mooresville and the likes.
No, they really got an outstanding conference, and the Foard team has been putting some points on the board. The last 3 games, they're averaging 37 points a game, so they can put some numbers on the board.
And they've lost some close games as well, but down the stretch, you look at the Wonders experience being here before in the playoffs. Of course, Fred T. Foard, no stranger to the playoffs. First-year head coach Alan Gorey, but at the same time, this is a tough place to come in and win a ball game.
Well, it really is, and here's a number for fans out there. The Kannapolis team has intercepted 20 passes in the last 4 games. The defensive secondary is playing very, very well. You cannot hang the ball up in the air on this team because they will punish you for it.
If you're Bruce Harden, what do you warn your players about? Overconfidence, or just we read it all week in the media, being hungry, and that's what they got to be tonight.
Well, I think this is a hungry team. I think every year it's a new chapter, a different team. This Kannapolis team different from the one that won the state title a year ago. They've got some different guys on there. Some guys who maybe haven't been all the way to the big dance before. But I think a couple of things to look for tonight. Foard comes in here with a huge team. They've got some 300-pounders on that offensive line. They run the wing T offense. Going to be a lot of ball control type game tonight. We saw last week Concord had some success with the ball control type of offense. If they can do that, and if they can keep Nick Maddox off the field, they should have a good night. On the other hand, boy, it's been really tough for anybody to slow the Wonders down all season long. They're averaging almost 50 points a game.
It's kind of like walking through a rattlesnake pit. You hope you don't get bit. We'll have more pregame for you as Kannapolis meets Fred T. Foard in the first round on our Metro 12 coverage this week. Stay with us. Back to a filling at Memorial Stadium here on the campus of A.L. Brown High School. The Tigers from Fred T. Foard come into tonight's game 7-4 overall, as we talked about out of the Western Foothills Conference. Steve Gant caught up with first-year head coach Alan Gorey just moments ago.
Thanks, Randy. We're with Fred T. Foard head coach Alan Gorey. Alan, welcome to Kannapolis.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, it's been a long season. I think we've said it before. Everybody's 0-0 tonight. You know, win or lose tonight, everybody's going to be 0-0 again next week. But you guys, you're in the playoffs, and you feel great about that. You played a tough conference.
Oh yeah, we have. We had some really tough games earlier on in the season. You know, for the losses we had this year, you know, all those teams made it to the playoffs. So we feel real good about where we're at right now. You know, it's tough coming down here to Kannapolis, you know, being 16th seed, but you know, we feel good, and we're just happy to be here.
It's always tough to come to Kannapolis. I don't know a whole lot about your team, but I kind of label it as the catch me if you can offense. You guys can put 25, 28, 30 points on the board, and it looks to me like if somebody can run with you and score with you, then it's going to come down to the last score.
You know, it's a little leading sometimes. You know, in our conference, it was last year. You know, you had your front runners, and then you had you know, a lot of people down at the end of the conference. This year, our conference was pretty much even all the way across the board. You know, we had some tough games to get through the conference. We won some of those games and lost a couple of close ones in the conference. We feel real good good about our offense. You know, right here at the end of the season, it's been clicking real good. You know, we've tried to iron some things out defensively, and you know, Kannapolis has a great back in Maddox, and we've worked hard, and we're going to have to contain him somehow. But you know, that's going to be a job that you know, we're looking forward to the challenge.
Well, you mentioned Nick Maddox. You know, we watched him last week. He rushed for about 125 sort of yards. Everybody says, "What's wrong with Nick Maddox?" But they're into a tough defense. Your kids, I think you mentioned Walden and several guys. Who can watch for tonight?
Offensively, you know, we feel like tonight that you know, we've got to control the time of possession and you know, limit Maddox as many times as you know, he can touch the ball. We're going to run the ball and try to control, you know, the line of scrimmage. You know, we've got some size up front, and you know, I feel like when you start trying to challenge those defensive backs that Kannapolis has, you're looking for some trouble.
You know, we're in the 12th week of the season. It's been a long year. Health-wise, are your kids healthy? Got anybody out with injuries?
We're fine. You know, we've got a couple of guys that have been, you know, gimping along here the last couple of games of the season, maybe with a sprained ankle or something like that. But those guys are back tonight. You know, everybody wants to play in the playoffs.
It's time to go play. We'll let you get to work. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Alan. Okay, guys, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. You should see the newly installed K at Plumber's Perch, and I think the reason that wasn't operative last week, they had to get the electrician out there to inspect it or whatever. So you get caught up with Jeremy Ryan, who is one of the valuable assistants to Coach Bruce Harden earlier for the Wonders.
Thanks, Randy, with Jeremy Ryan, Kannapolis Wonders assistant coach. Jeremy, seems like you and I are in our favorite place, the end zone.
I've really enjoyed this.
You know, Fred T. Foard's coming in as unknown. You know, football team's a football team, but do you know anything about him?
You know, Fred T. Foard has good athletes, and they have some big kids. Tackles go 302, 307. They're going to pull a lot of guards, run the wing T offense, which is, you know, who knows how many years old, but it's effective, and they scored a lot of points.
You know, I was looking at the program a while ago, and you mentioned the size of those kids. It looks like the smallest one's about 265. That's a pretty large lad.
I don't know what to feed those kids, but I wish we could get some in ours.
You know, we all know Evar Johnson's out with a twisted knee. How does that affect Nick Maddox's game?
Nick Maddox is going to be Nick Maddox. He's, you know, he's the best player in the state of North Carolina, and I think that's been well established. Evar affects the emotional part of our football team. He's one of our leaders. He's first in every drill. He's right there in spirit with us tonight, and we hope to keep him in our hearts.
You know, you said Nick's going to be Nick. What about on the defense? How bad will you miss Evar on defense?
That's the key right there. We have other fullbacks, I believe. The problem is his 6 technique, defensive end position, is going to be the strong side of our defense tonight. It's going to be a key to see how Rashad Robinson makes up the difference along with Kerwan Kirkpatrick on the other side.
You know, I talked to the coach of Fred T. Foard. It seems like they rely on their offense all year. They're going to score 4, 5, 6 touchdowns. That's their game plan. And then it looks like they just going to say, catch us if you can. We're going to get ours. Get yours if you can. What's your thoughts?
I hope it doesn't become a shootout. But if it is, I hope that our offense is ready.
You know, last week we saw 10 points scored against Kannapolis. It looks like one of Nick Maddox's, I'm going to say, worst game. No disrespect to Nick. Run up into a tough defense. Everybody says, what's wrong with Nick? Absolutely nothing wrong with Nick. You guys played the toughest defense you probably played all year. Did you guys learn anything in allowing 10 points last week?
Yeah, we learned you better block and tackle better than we did last week. We played a good team at Concord. Fred T. Ford's a strong team, too, and we hope to match up with them.
Well, you know, they come from a tough conference. They haven't played any slouches this year. Everybody that's in the playoffs is the only 2 games they've gotten beaten by. Is that concern you at all?
Well, 2A teams, Bandy's and Maiden, had great records this year. They played Mooresville, the other undefeated team in 3A in the Western bracket. Strong schedule, good community, much like ours, and that football is king. And they're going to match up well tonight. It should be a heck of a battle.
We'll pull any surprises out of the bag. Is Bruce got any tricks up his sleeve?
We're just going to line up and play.
Play football. We'll let you get to work. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. And, of course, Coach Ryan looks like he's got his game face on. We're going to do that as well. As we step away, we'll be back for the start of tonight's football game in just a moment. Nick Gill, Paul Allen. We've also got Danny Jenkins and Nick Maddox for Kannapolis going to the center of the field. And let's pick up the coin toss activities right now.
39, Paul Allen.
Guys, Captain Maddox, Captain Allen, Captain Jenkins, Captain Gill, you guys shake hands, introduce yourself to each other. Guys, fellow officials tonight, Mr. Page is the head linesman, Mr. Higgins the umpire, Mr. Huzzy is the field judge, and Mr. Walker is the back judge. Congratulations on both of you for getting here. You're the visitors, White. Who's going to be the captain? Who's going to call? 41?
Trainers.
50-cent piece, Paul there. I drop it, so we do it again, okay?
Winston Rhodes.
Oh, it's
Tails.
tails.
Tyson Hill.
It's heads.
Appreciate
You win the toss. You want to kick, receive, defend the goal, or defer? Ball. You want the ball. Which goal do you want to defend? Away from you. You want to kick this way? You come right around here and face them. Right here, guys. Right here. Right here. Right here. Don't go so far. I'm getting old. Come here. Y'all want to call? You will receive. Shake hands, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think our referee is in good spirits tonight, Woody.
He's already got it going. Let's take a look now at the lineups. You see there the offensive line for the Wonders: Padu, Seyfried, Lambert, Tuttle, and Rates along the front for A.L. Brown. Then the backfield, Harden having a great year at quarterback, nearly 1,000 yards passing. Paul Allen filling in for the injured Evar Johnson this week. Nick Maddox over a couple thousand yards so far. Blair Harden, Danny Jenkins, and Justin Chambers. The offense for A.L. Brown, as they will get the ball first. And you see some of the fans there and get a look at the Fred T. Foard offensive line, or rather should be the defensive line, but you'll get a look at that there anyway. You see a full capacity crowd here on hand.
Not quite as many as we had last week, but that's understandable since we had the entire county up for this the game last Friday. I sit here and look at some of the Wonders. You see some guys have got one sock on, and I think some guys started that last year on this Wonder team, and quite a few. There we see the defensive line for the Tigers.
All right, 5-man front there as well. Rodas, Jackson, Page, Eller, and Westmoreland for the Tigers. And the linebackers in secondary, Aaron Wilkie, Ben Eggers, one of the captains, Jarrell Walton, he will get some carries tonight as well. White, another one of the captains, Dula, and Dixon for the Tigers in the secondary core.
As the Wonders...
Foard a little late coming out of the locker room. They were still going through their run through the cheerleaders banner thing down there, and the Wonders are on the field ready to get the ball. But coming into this game, Randy, Foard averaging almost 26 points a game. However, they allow about 25 points a game, and that ought to make number 20 salivate just a little bit, knowing that this defense can give up some points. This year they have lost to Maiden in the third game of the year, 33-19. They were hammered by Bandies, 44-0. They lost to Mooresville, undefeated at 11-0, 31-22. That gives you an idea how good they are playing a team like Mooresville that tight. And then a heartbreaking loss to Hickory, 42-41. They've won 2 straight coming into the playoffs.
And it's not really, as we said, throw the records out the window. It's how you are playing now.
Yeah.
And if you get hot, anything can happen. And it's the new season, indeed. As the Panthers from Fred T. Foard, I guess you would call that almost Carolina bluish. As Ben Eggers is the guy to tow it away. They had Maddox back as the single receiving guy. Now they dropped another guy back, but neither one will get the football. Well, I'm wrong. It's going to be taken by Robinson, and it is lassoed down to the 25-yard line. Looks like Jarrell Walton on the coverage. So the Wonders will set up shop at around the 25, 26-yard line.
And I think that's something we're going to see all night long. By now, the word is out. Don't kick to Nick, and they're going to be squibbing it and kicking it away from him, I expect, all night long. You see Harden there giving the instructions to his offense as they get set to come out. And what a year Justin Harden has had. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards, over 50% completion ratio, just an outstanding season.
Out of the I formation, offset Allen, the fullback, to the left a little bit. And here we go with the counter. First play, and Maddox has got some room to the outside and will be tripped up. Good containment on the end there. Only about a 4-yard gain that time. Nick looked like he could have gone for more had not David Rodas been there.
However, you'd much rather have 2nd and 5 than 2nd and long, and Maddox with good speed. They trip him up right here to get him down at the end of the play, but the Wonders, boy, I don't think anybody was shocked that the first play was to Maddox.
They've run that for 10 consecutive years here in Annapolis. Sometimes it works. It worked for 6 yards that time. just over the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 4. Play fake, Hart to the air quickly here. Good protection, goes deep on the fly, overthrown, intended for his brother, Blair Hart that time. And it looked like Frederick White back on the coverage for the Panthers' Fred T. Foard.
It almost looked like there was some good pressure that time on Hart, but he stood in there, held his ground, and waited for his receiver to work downfield just a little bit long for him.
Looks like Corey Maxwell has checked into the offensive scheme. He is number 27 for Kannapolis with a play from the Wonder sideline, and he will set up as they look to be splitting the backs here in the backfield with 2 wide receivers, and now Chambers, the tight end, will move into a slot on the right side. So everybody eligible probably. On the toss to Maddox, looking on the quick pitch. He just sidesteps one man, and the second effort gets him the first down out across the 35-yard line.
And over on the Fred T. Foard sidelines, they were all cheering and stuff, like, yay, we held him to 5. I mean, that is something if you could do that to Nick Maddox. If he doesn't burn you on a play, you got to consider it a success the way he's been going this season.
You saw Purdue, number 60, and Chambers over there leading the way blocking. Quincy got out of the offensive line set, and he was kamikaze going down through there. 1st down and 10 at the 37-yard line. Hit in the backfield, and he will go down for a loss. It was David Rodas, the 6'3", 198-pound junior with penetration into the Wonder scheme, and a loss of about 4.
And Foard did a good job that time, Randy. They really busted that play up before it ever had a chance to get going. Maddox took a step and had 3 white jerseys all over him.
They will send Hart and split to the bottom of your screen. Jenkins, the wide out to the top. Slot on the right with a single setback here on 2nd down and long. They go to Maddox. He gets a great block at the line of scrimmage and cuts on the speed and will tiptoe out of bounds out across the 40, maybe the 43-yard line. Saferd with a good block to spring him for a few yards.
And it was an outstanding block, Randy. He just absolutely put his man on the ground, and with the speed, Maddox says, watch 51 right there. That's all you got to do. Give him that breathing room, and he's off to the races.
Well, it now sets up 3rd down. We'll call it 6. The line to make will be just right at the 48-yard line. Maddox with almost 2,200 yards rushing on the year. Here we have Hart going in motion on this play.
A little bit of movement, but they got back.
Play fake. Justin Hart looking over the middle, and Chambers was open, but just maybe cut it in too much there as the pass went to his outside of the field. So an incomplete pass.
That was one of those zigged when the quarterback thought he was going to zag kind of plays there.
Here's a guy who will do the punting now. Danny Jenkins, the senior, and he can play at the next level. Just kicking the football, what we've seen this season.
And is that the first time all year Kannapolis has failed to score on their first possession?
I believe it is.
Statistician Jim Love right on top of all that stuff now.
Wonders set him down. A low snap. Jenkins fields cleanly and gets off an end-over-ender. Going back deep, it will be Frederick White fielding at the 18-yard line, and he will be punished at the 20. Purdue on the tackle along with Ryan Kraft down there. As they have the coverage. Now the offense for Fred T. Foard, the Tigers. We'll take a look at their offensive line.
And you heard Coach Ryan talking about the size. Look at the tackles there. Teague and Widener, 302 and 307 along that front there. They've got some good size. Then in the backfield, Boss, the quarterback, Eggers, then Walton will get the bulk of the carries tonight. Frederick White, who just had the kick return, Lewis and Rodas, and we'll check the Kannapolis defense in just a second.
They have 600 pounds on one side of the line if they got to run it that way. The fullback gets the dime off the left side for about 3 yards, and carrying the ball has been Eggers. There you see the defensive front for Kannapolis.
Rivens, Johnson, Purdue, and Desmond Williams and Robinson, and you heard them saying that matchup on Robinson on that side of the line is going to be key as well. Then Nick Gill just having an outstanding year. Paul Allen, one of the leaders. Maddox, Robinson, Lipscomb, and Harris. That secondary is absolutely something to behold for this Wonder team.
You got Maddox moved up to a corner who had been playing free safety a lot of the time. 2nd down and 8. Once again, fullback with the call, and he tries to slice off the left side, and maybe a couple that time for Eggers. Nick Gill was there, and Rashad Robinson, who is, it seems like he is always there, Woody.
Well, you heard Coach Ryan talking about that was going to be a key matchup on that side of the line, and there you get a good look at Coach Alan Glory in his first year.
Already a key 3rd and 5 coming up now for the Tigers. You saw T, he's 302, and he can go anywhere he wants.
Get a look at that wing T.
Play fake, going to the air. Pass tipped incomplete as Randall Moss looking to the outside that time. Duran Lipscomb on the coverage of David Rhoda. So 3 and out here for Frenzy Foard.
Well, if you can't score on your first drive, as Kannapolis was unable to, you want to come right back and get a 3 and out the other way, and that's what they've been able to do. Kannapolis, realizing right away that they're not going to be kicking to Nick Maddox, has already gone with 2 receivers back to take the ball. Tremaine Robinson moves back along with Nick to take this first punt.
Will be Randall Moss, the quarterback, to punt it away. And he cuts it. Does it go out of bounds? Nope, going to be fielded by Maddox, and now he backpedals, and that is not the thing you want to do, Nick.
Wow, he probably lost 15 yards on that play. He's got enough speed to where he can do that and get away from you, but I'm sure that's one of those where the coaches on the sidelines were going, no, don't do that.
Lost about 15 yards here on this particular decision, and Frederick White says, I'll have no part of that.
Well, you know, it's got to be frustrating for Maddox. He's had so many good returns this season, and teams have jumped all over that, and they're not kicking it to him anymore, so he's extra anxious when the ball gets anywhere close to him. He wants to try and make a big play happen.
Kannapolis will have decent field position, taking over at their own 31-yard line here with 8 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the opening chapter. Quick toss, here's Maddox looking for the block, and it will be, I don't know how he got out of the grass, but look at this. He's still on his feet, and now he breaks it. Nick Maddox is going to take it the distance. Can you believe it? That is probably the wildest thing you'll see ever on a football field.
I'm telling you, and when we watch this replay, Randy, you'll see that the Tigers spend entirely too much time trying to strip the ball instead of trying to put Nick Maddox on the ground, and he made him pay. Watch this. You'll see coming up here will be Rodas right here. Now watch him. He's trying to strip the ball. He's not worried about tackling him. And right here it looks like they've got him. Here it looks like they've got him. He bounces off of 3 guys. Another one falls down. A good block, and bye-bye.
It's over. 69 yards. It took about 3 minutes, I think, for Nick to get out of the attack zone there, but
well, some of the letters have already gone down there.
Well, it was wonderful to watch. I'll tell you that.
Amazing.
Now John Garver out of the hole to Harden to tack on the extra point, and the Wonders just like that draw a little magic out of the bottle and nick at night. 7:54 left in the opening period. Kannapolis has jumped out on top. Speaking of salivating, Woody, I think the college scouts are drooling big time after that.
Can you imagine? That was something else.
Indescribable.
He is fun to watch, isn't he?
Just glad we're a part of it.
Well, that shows you right there the strength of Nick Maddox. A couple years ago, you might have been able to pull that ball away from Nick, but he's so much stronger this year. If you don't really wrap him up and put a couple of bodies on him, he's going to make you pay in a huge way like we saw right there.
He doesn't quit for sure. Jenkins kicks it to Walton. He's got some room, and then as the ball is loose, and Kannapolis will pick it up. This looks like number 19, and that is going to be Raybar Harris. Now the ball is loose again. It's still loose, and I think Foard may have recovered. They did.
Amazing. Can you believe that?
This is wild.
Raybar Harris got it. He was the first guy down who kind of made the initial hit. The runner went through it, and the ball was loose. Now watch number 19 come down here and put a hit on the runner, but he can't get him down right there, and the ball fell loose when he ran into another Kannapolis player.
Raybar just...
He's waving the ball around. Oh, actually, he tried to pitch it. Yeah, he tried to pitch it there to Mark Norris, number 43, and I guarantee you the coaches will get on him about that.
Yeah, they wanted to get 6 on that one. Well, now the ball is back deep, but Foard is lucky to have possession at the 16-yard line. Walton, I tell you what, he looked like a big tree stump running through the left side that time, but he met Nick Gill, who's got the chainsaw. And
the hit machine.
He's chopped a few running backs down in his career.
Well, Nick is about like one of those FM radio stations. He just keeps churning out the hits, doesn't he? I'm telling you.
Back to back.
Man.
12 in a row. 7 minutes, 10 seconds left. First period. Wonders on top 7-0 with an electrifying Nick Maddox 69-yard touchdown run.
I'd like to see that again.
And the fullback shakes a tackle and will get the first down out across the 30-yard line. Eggers, and he's a pretty good load to bring down. 180 pounds, 5'10". It looks like Ribbons on the tackle.
But Ribbons thumps him from behind here to get him at the end of this play right there, and actually pushed him forward a few more yards.
They'll spot it just shy of the 34-yard line. Best field position of the night, I believe, for Foard.
Well, this is the kind of game they want to play, Randy. 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust and keep the ball.
Wing on the left side and a play fake. Going to the air. Well, he's going to tuck it and run it. Here comes Randall Moss, and he is hit abruptly. That up to about the 40-yard line. It was Nick Gill once again knocking him off his feet.
And you'll be saying that quite a bit tonight.
Well, there's so many Nicks. Nick Safert, Nick Gill, Nick Maddox.
Well, he was looking downfield for number 5, Jeremy Dula, it looked like that time, but good coverage by the Wonder secondary. Dula, the only receiver out there. And when Boss rounded the corner, he saw that wasn't going to work, so he tucked it up and made a nice gain out of it.
Line to make the 44-yard line on second down, and here we go with the wing back on the left side. Dula has the first down, and then across midfield down to the Wonder 49-yard line.
This is the problem that wing T offense presents for even a speedy defense like Kannapolis. The misdirection, they think everything's going right, then it comes back to the left, and there's a big seam over there, one of those big 300-pound tackles clearing out some room, and Dula picks up the first down across midfield.
I would have to say the Tigers of Fred T. Foard have kind of got the adrenaline calmed down somewhat. They've got their feet wet here. They're settling down here on offense, it looks like. At 49 of the Wonders, first down, and the left wing is B.J. Walton, and he's slung to the ground after about a 2-yard gain. Lipscomb over there on the tackle for the Wonders.
And Lipscomb did make a nice open field tackle, but again, this is exactly what Foard wants. A couple of yards, keep the ball, keep the clock moving, take time off the clock, and keep number 20 from getting his hands on the ball.
This type of offense, if you get some good yardage on first down, boy, it's hard to stop a team like this.
You have all kinds of options. We got to look at this style of offense when we did the Mount Pleasant Charlotte Catholic game earlier in the year, and got a good look at how effective this kind of offense can be when it's run effectively.
It's like Robinson, number 54, limping a little bit. We'll just keep an eye on him for the Wonders on defense. Too much time, and that is a big mental mistake there. That will cost him 5 yards.
So instead of 2nd and 8, it's going to be, what, 2nd and 13 now, and that's a whole different matter. Pushes him back across midfield.
And obviously, Randall Boss, you've got the play clocks on in both end zones, in the corners on both ends of the field, and you should be aware of how much time you have to snap the ball. Harwell is the wide out to the bottom of your screen. Dula, the wing on the left side. On second down, here's Boss over the middle, and he's got it complete, and it will be a first down inside the Wonder 40-yard line. Making a great catch, David Rodas, who looks like he's one of the premier players on this Panther ball team, or Tiger ball team.
Short, over the middle kind of stuff is the way to go if you're going to pass it against this Wonder team. If you try to go deep down the field and hang it up in the air, they've got too much speed for that. It looked like Nick Gill had a shot at that one. He may have gotten a finger on it, but he was kind of upset with himself, looked like. He believed he may have had a shot at the interception there.
First down at the 37. Walton around the left side, gets a good block, runs over somebody. The ball is loose, and was he down? I think the linesman says he was.
And you see now the size beginning to have a factor here, Randy. The huge offensive line for Foard, and you see there at the end of that when he's just running over guys, the ball popped loose, but the officials say he was down.
Ryan Kraft stood in and took one for the team. Boy, he was racked.
Sure did. The Wonders had him 2nd and long, 8th play of the drive.
2nd down and 3 now, the Wonder 30-yard line. Fullback stood up, Purdue with penetration. and it will be short of the first down.
I think they almost got the ball out of there again, though, Randy.
Nick Gill is not on the bottom of the pile. He's near it always. You saw 76. That's Josh Widener. He's 307.
And 6'2", and only a junior.
That means you grow about 2 more inches and gain 20 more pounds in another year. Key play here, you're really in 4-down territory if you're Fred T. Foard. It's 3rd down and a short 2.
And you see 73 Teague there, Randy. He's 302.
Walton around the left side, gets a great block, and he's loose. Breaks the tackle, and he could score. No, they say he took him out of bounds. Stepped out upfield. But it will be good enough for the first down. Inside the 20-yard line.
This offense is clicking, and the reason is, Randy, you see him pulling the lineman there, coming down, looking for somebody to hit. They've got big offensive linemen, and they're winning the war up front. Timeout by the Wonders.
Annapolis will talk it over here on defense as the Tigers have got it in the red zone. They'll have it 1st down and 10 at the 18-yard line when we come back. 3:08 remaining, first period. Woody Kane, Randy Whitley back here at Memorial Stadium in Kannapolis at his 1st and 10 of the 18-yard line, and the ball is on the ground, and the Wonders have got it. The defense bent but didn't break, Woody, and falling on it was big number 90 for Kannapolis, and that's Des Williams.
And that's another thing you have to wonder about or worry about. When you try to do all that misdirection, sometimes even your own guys can get a little mixed up and the ball popped loose. Boy, that's a tremendous break for the Wonders because Foard was marching down the field.
They had started, what, about their own 15-yard line? How many plays? It was double digits.
It was 10 plays, and they picked up 4 first downs going into that one.
So they come away with nothing, and now the offense of the Wonders back onto the field after pretty good rest over there on the sidelines. Toss to Maddox. Looking and stops and nothing near.
And again,
a couple of yards.
You see the size, Randy. There was all kinds of penetration there on the left side of the Wonder offensive line. Maddox really nowhere to go. We saw him break 1 to score, but you can't ask him to do that all night long and be effective.
Well, Nick has thrown the ball. He is 2 for 2 this year. And I'll tell you what, that will loosen the defense up and make you think.
It sure will.
You won't play the run.
The guy who generally loosens things up in that fashion for the Wonders is Danny Jenkins, number 42, down at the bottom of your screen.
It's 2nd down. Here's Hart. Out the flat and incomplete. Couldn't quite haul it in. That looked to be
number 37,
Blair Harvey.
So it's going to be a 3rd and long for the Wonders.
Clock shows 2:21 remaining, first period.
Justin Harden so far, excuse me, Randy, 0 for 3 passing.
You're talking about his high completion ratio, 60 touchdowns on the year. He's only been picked off 3 times this season, and that is good decisions.
That's something right there.
They moved Purdue, who is the tight end now, over on the left side. Play fake, 3rd and 11. Harden looking. He's got Jenkins behind the secondary and overthrew him.
I think Danny hesitated a little bit there. He was open. Instead of just sprinting down the field, he turned to look back, and that may have taken a step or 2 off his length trying to get down the field.
Now Danny, who had run 50 yards, will have to come back and punt it.
Yeah. And Frederick White's going to be back deep again, one of the captains for the Tigers.
Jenkins standing at about the 11-yard line. Let's see if Foard sets up for the return or he puts a little pressure on this blue chip punter here. Jenkins, with all the time in the world, gets it high. This one will not be returned, and it doesn't take really any kind of a discretionary roll, just stops at about the 49-yard line. Good field position now for Foard. Marcus Rivens on the coverage. Make sure nobody picked it up.
Well, if you're the Tigers, here's where you got to bounce right back and wipe that fumble out of your mind. They had the offense clicking, absolutely marching down the field. They've got to get right back in that frame of mind. And again, what's doing it is that offensive line. They're controlling things, and you saw the push they got on defense. Right now, they're using the size to their advantage.
Yeah, the little field position advantage, obviously, in Ford's favor right now. Quick count, quick toss. Walton finally hauls it in, and he was hemmed in and just lowered his shoulder and got down like a gopher and got about 3 more yards.
The pitch up around his neck area, around his face mask even, and he did a good job to grab that one and make something positive out of it. Could easily have been another turnover. Look at there.
Yeah, he made a good catch. Then he got 3 there after he knew he was bottled up. So pick up of about 5 on the play, and you'll take it every time if you're an offensive coordinator. Wing on the right, they go to the fullback, and Eggers slices into the right side of the line, and he'll be stopped short of the first down at about the 43-yard line.
Not a lot of wasted motion in an offense like this. You think you see guys going all over the place, but it's all by design. They want to get you flowing one way and come back across the grain and attack you from another direction and pick up the little short yardage plays, and sometimes they fool you and pick up a long one.
And it sets up a reasonable effort here. 3rd and a short 2. Fullback, Eggers hit and stop. No gain, maybe lost. Paul Allen there first. And
Purdue. And Nick Gill was in on that one as well. Now, do you go or do you punt? Take a look at it again here. Great shot right there. Actually, yeah, that was Allen there first.
Looks like they like running off their left side of the offensive line. Kannapolis may have made some adjustments defensively, and now Foard wants to talk it over. We have 36 seconds remaining here in the first period. 7-0, Wonders on top, and we'll be right back. It is 4th down and 2, and Foard has elected to go for it, we believe. Yep, they're setting them down here at the 43-yard line. They give it to Walton around the left side. He skips out of a tackle. He's got the first down, and he breaks it clean down the sidelines, and he should take it all the way. Touchdown, Fred T. Foard.
Amazing, Randy, because they surely had him bottled up, and he kept fighting and turned it into something.
43-yard touchdown run. We watch it again. You see, he looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss, and then there's nobody left.
Yeah, he ran right between 2 Wonder defenders.
And that will get him to within 1. So a good run by B.J. Walton, the 5'9", 198-pound senior. Now it will be Moss to hold for the extra point try here. To try to knot this game up. Snap, spot, kick is blocked. And that is a big block. And special teams look like Purdue. Also, Duran Lipscomb, I think, was the first guy to get there for the Wonders. 26 seconds to go in the first period, Woody. It's a 1-point game, and that's all you need sometimes. Back at Memorial Stadium, Woody, Fred T. Foard obviously getting a little confidence. They showed us something on that drive.
Sure did, and the one before that, even though it ended in a fumble. This team can score some points, Randy. They played a tough season. They've got 4 losses, but they really only had 1 bad game all year.
Ball is squibbed, going to be taken finally. I think that's Chambers. Well, we'll just see who it is.
Somebody's going to get off. No, it's Allen.
Paul Allen. Well, he's used to handling the football, so he had some of the good hands people up there. Kannapolis will get good field position. They're on 38-yard line. Now the question for Justin Harden is, can I kind of squeeze that ball a little bit tighter and get over the adrenaline and get on target passing? There's the scoring drive for the Tigers.
And the key thing there, that 44-yard touchdown run came on 4th down.
Yep. You got everybody in tight. After about 3 or 4 yards, there was nobody left. Straight eye this time with 3 wide for the Wonders. And it will be Maddox looking up the middle and get some good yardage out across the 40 to the 40, near the 45-yard line. And you'll take that every time on 1st down.
Well, good call by the Wonder coaches. They've been trying to go primarily around the left side all night long. And you know the Foard defense had to be geared up for that, so then they pop it back up the middle. Maddox, 7 carries, 91 yards.
And they'll get a break as the first quarter has come to an end here at Memorial Stadium. Wonders leading by a single digit. Here, Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane, Steve Gant, Jim Love, and the entire Metro 12 production crew. As it is 2nd down and 4 as they swap ends. Didn't have to walk far again when you're at midfield. Don't have to turn around far. Long count now for Harden. Toss to Maddox, short side, breaks a tackle, cuts it over, and almost broke it out. Across midfield, he'll have the first down. Maddox will go over, well, Ben Eggers on the tackle, but Maddox is going to be nearing the 100-yard mark already.
Watch Eggers. He's on the ground, and he kind of reaches up there and gets one of Maddox's legs as he goes by. First quarter numbers, Randy. Fred T. Foard, 101 yards of total offense. Kannapolis, 91, all of them by Nick Maddox.
And with that, he'll be near 100 yards in that last carry for the entire game. Harden coming down the line, does the option. Well, nobody picks him up. He says, I'll run it. He's got 10. He's got about 12 or 13, and that's the dimension that the Tigers defense hasn't seen out of Kannapolis' offense yet. But that'll stick in the back of your brain somewhere.
And give Maddox credit for some of that, because you have to respect him. They've got to put somebody out there to chase him. And when you do that, you give Harden some room to make a big play.
Brian Cooper, 61, was the guy who had the pitch man, Maddox. He says, well, I'm all over it, but they won't throw him the football.
Only the third first down for the Wonders in this game.
Harden 0 for 4 in the passing department here early in the game. But they look like they're getting their running game geared up. Now Harden back to the air. Pops it over there. He's got Allen, and he gets a great block from Jenkins and will score.
Amazing, Randy. And again, the play action to Maddox freezes the penetration for just a beat, gives Harden the time to complete the pass. Watch him fake it here. Now see him hesitate right there and look at Maddox, and then Allen's wide open. Now here's the block. There's another good block as well.
Oh, that was the clip.
It's coming back. Okay.
Yeah, that was a block in the back there. You could see it.
You got to get the helmet in front.
Chambers, the guilty party. He really didn't need that block because Jenkins was the one who made the monster block downfield. So nullify the touchdown and tack on some yardage. Boy, that will drive the coaches crazy. When you take points off the board, it usually comes back to haunt you. But the Wonder offense so prolific this year. Let's see if they can overcome this. It is first down and 14. The penalty stepped off from the point of infraction. Back to the 38-yard line of the Tigers. Now Harden back to the air again. Sets up a little flare on the right side. Screen pass Maddox looking for a block. Cuts it in and will get down to the 30, and that almost a late hit. It was Ben Eggers on the tackle. Ben has got it figured out.
That was a great open field tackle by Eggers. When Maddox got that screen over there, I thought, man, he's got all kinds of daylight. Lob it over those big linemen's head. Maddox runs away from them. But look at that. Great open field tackle by Eggers right there. And you're right, very close to a late hit.
For Maddox, his 9th reception on the year. And now the Wonders will have 2nd and 6. Just inside the Fred T. Foard 30-yard line. Lipscomb is the fullback here, the offensive set. Toss will go to Maddox. Gets a great block at the line of scrimmage. Cuts it to the outside, and Nick Maddox will go and get 6 points, just like that.
And again, you're seeing, Randy, what we talked about. They were trying to get around the end, around the end, around the end. This time, they come back inside and find a little room there, and Maddox just outruns everybody. Good block downfield again by Jenkins.
Jenkins says, darn it, I'm going to do it again. No flags, guys.
130 yards on 9 carries for Maddox and a couple of touchdowns.
And now John Garber in, Blair Harden in to hold. And the Wonders with a chance to make it an 8-point advantage here with a conversion. The kick is up, and it is good. We have a timeout with 10:27 to go in the first half here at Memorial Stadium. Wonders up by 14-6 margin. As we return to A.L. Brown High School, Woody, we could have an old-fashioned shootout here before it's over with. A little track meet. We got 20 points up on the board already, and nobody's tired.
Well, and that's the kind of season that Foard has had. You look at scores like 26-22, 28-19, 27-21. This is the kind of game they've been in all year long.
Here's Frederick White on the return. Spun down out across the 20-21-yard line.
I think Nick Gill was the first guy there that got him turned around and until the pursuit could catch up for the Wonders. So they make up for that clipping penalty with a 62-yard drive, and Maddox a 31-yard touchdown run, and the point after good.
So he has 2 touchdowns on the night. You put just the 2 touchdown runs on the board, he's got 69, that's 100 yards.
That's something, isn't it?
He's just run a football field.
And good play calling by the Wonder coaches.
And they bang the right side. Nick Gill over there for Kannapolis.
Somebody went flying. I think it was Harris over there.
Right up to the ground. That is Jarrell Walton. Excuse me. We got a couple of Waltons in the backfield. BJ and Jarrell. Now, when they come to dinner at your house, you better have plenty to eat. One is 224. The other one's 198.
The one's, a senior, and the other's a sophomore, but they have been getting the bulk of the carries this season for this Tiger offense, and boy, they are an imposing presence back there, aren't they?
Game 4 on the play, split the backs, and here's BJ around the right side, just trying to run over some folks, but too many folks that time in the way. Ryan Kraft over there, along with Lipscomb and Allen as well.
He might have been better served to try to cut that one back toward the middle of the field. It almost seemed like he was looking for somebody to hit that time instead of trying to get the most yardage he could out of it.
At the 30-yard line, a key play here now. Momentum has swung back to the Wonders side. Their defense can stop them here. They'll get the ball back now as we near the 9-minute mark of the first half. Wing on the right side. And third down is the call, and they'll go off, and the Wonders defense stack it up. Nowhere to go. Gill was there. Also Purdue and Allen.
But the bottom line is they stuffed it. Before that one, Randy, B.J. Walton, 7 carries, 76 yards. So he's doing the job as well.
He's had a great night. Punting time for Foard.
Kannapolis keeps the momentum.
And it will be the quarterback, Randall Bost, the junior, back inside his own 20-yard line.
And with him punting, Randy, that gives the coaches for Foard a little bit of an option back there. If they get close late in the game and they have a short field, they may try something with him.
Obviously, he knows how to handle the football. He kicks it away. No, he doesn't. It's going to go to Robinson. And he looks for the wall to set up. Gets a couple of good blocks, and around the corner. He's at midfield. One man to beat. Cuts it inside, and now they'll catch him from behind at the 30-yard line. But what a great wall they set up.
Sure did. And when he came around that way, Maddox looked at him like, where are you going? And then he started blocking.
He said, I've been watching you for 3 years.
Now watch the blocking over here, setting it up. There's a great block coming. You might not be able to see it here. Maddox gets in somebody's way, but there was another good block up the field. Ryan Kraft, I believe it was, who got in the guy's way and enabled him to turn the corner.
Well, that'll definitely hurt your punt average.
Yeah.
He returned it about 35 yards. And Al the Wonders sent 3 wide out here on first down and 10 from the Fred T. Foard 30-yard line. Toss to the short side. Maddox eludes 1, eludes 2, eludes 3, eludes 4, eludes 5, and what can you say?
Boy, is he fun to watch or what? I mean, it's like people bounce into him and think, okay, well, I got it. And Maddox just keeps going.
You keep thinking somebody will eventually tackle him. Well, they did. But
well, they're hitting him, but they're not wrapping their arms around him and bringing him down. Watch here.
There's 1.
He gets away.
2.
And now they're popping him and pounding him, but...
And TR is getting faked out probably down there. He said, man, he's juking too.
I'm telling you.
Good camera work. Good camera work down there. That's what it's like if you're a defensive guy chasing him. Here's Harden. Does he keep it? Yeah. He'll get around the corner. And will be bumped out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. You think, well, they're going to catch Justin too, but they never did.
Well, Andrew Dixon came storming up through there, one of the linebackers, and looked like he had Harden. That's the play they tried before. You see him chasing Maddox. You got to keep somebody on him. There's Dixon. Harden gets by him and is able to turn the corner. It didn't look like there was that much room left before he was going to run out of bounds, but he shows you there. He's got some good speed of his own.
And Nick gets you 12, and then Justin comes back and gets you about 11. And now it's first and goal at the 7-yard line. They will send Blair Harden in motion. On the delay, right side, Maddox goes inside the 5, down near the 3-yard line. 61 on the tackle that time was Stephen Westmoreland, the 247-pound junior. Kannapolis now with a chance to get a little bit of breathing room here as they will call a timeout to talk things over. We show 7 minutes and 9 seconds remaining before halftime. Stay with us. Kannapolis now will have it 2nd and goal from around the 2-yard line. Actually, the 3-yard line is where we'll spot it.
And this is another position where you have to be concerned. You see Allen, the fullback, about Harden being able to turn that corner.
Obviously a threat here in this situation. They have Nick Gill now, the man in motion. And they'll go right side. Maddox, and he'll score. Touchdown, Kannapolis, with 7:04 to go here in the first half. And that's a big touchdown right there.
Just speed, a great hole for Maddox, and he just outruns the pursuit. Just a huge hole, and Paul Allen got in there and got another good block as well to really seal it up. And Maddox gets his, what, millionth touchdown now?
His 3rd one. That is his.
I mean, on the career and
I
on the
think
season.
So, yeah. 35 rushing touchdowns on the season. Of course, he's got some on the returns as well.
Thrown a couple.
He's
Caught a couple.
Here's Garver again, and this one is into the night. We have a timeout on the field. The score now, a 15-point lead for the #1 ranked A.L. Brown Wonders. The Wonders Woody have kind of seized the momentum here, and we still have 7 minutes to go in the first half. And if you're Fred T4, what you want to do is go back to what got you that first touchdown and don't get away from that game plan. It's not panic time, indeed. Right now, having trouble is Dula picking the football. You hesitate and you pay the price, and finally Marcus Ryman's got him, and a flag is down.
I think it's going to be for getting up around the face mask, yeah. And it looked like he may have gotten a little bit of helmet. It was hard to tell if he got some fingers hooked in the face mask or not. Let's see on the replay here.
Oops.
Booted it, and then he comes by, and now this blur here. Well, it was hard to see if he got just helmet or face mask, but at any rate, the officials throw the flag.
That had to be Nick Gill, didn't it?
More than likely, but you never know.
When you see a blue blur at the bottom of the feet, the shoes going by, most of the time it's Gill.
But this is going to turn a big advantage for Kannapolis and a not bad field position for the Tigers.
They'll work it from their own 31-yard line. Now they're going to wind out to the top of your screen. That is Michael Lewis. Play fake. Here's Boss to the air. Over the middle, tipped and complete.
And you said something a minute ago, Randy, about getting back to what got you here. This is not going to get him there.
That's B.J. Walton is a fine running back, and perhaps he needs to see the football here.
Well, you've got plenty of time to march down the field like they did a while ago. They've shown they can move the ball on the ground, but this Kannapolis secondary comes in here with 20 picks in the last 4 games, and they're going to punish you if you start trying to get into a shootout with them and throwing the ball all over the place.
They'll start to throw that when you see they start have a little air under the ball, and you, oh no.
Now they've got a huge offensive line, an outstanding running back, and I guess you have to throw some to keep them honest. But
here's Walton, and on the reverse, it will go to Dula, and they'll track him down after about a 6 or 7 yard gain.
Again, the misdirection, and they come back and find all kinds of room on the right side. Look at it here. You see everything's flowing to the left, and they come back to the right, and the big old linemen have a hard time running him down.
Dula lucky that Patrick had a hold of that jersey, and just another inch, and it would have been.
Well, Kerwan was out there charging, but he doesn't have that much speed.
He's not the fastest guy of the team. 3rd down and 3 from the 37-yard line. Boss to run it on the keeper. He'll have the sticks moved and goes out of bounds in front of his bench.
And almost over it.
I want to go over and check out the cheerleaders and say, you're all doing a great job. Say hello to some of them.
Well, you know, watch his teammates when he get over there. Usually somebody on your team will try to catch you, but they just kind of get out of his way. And the official's bailing on him, too. Look at that.
One of the traders with a water bucket.
No, he's not hitting me. Sorry.
That's like baseball. You go into your own dugout, they're going to catch you if you're going for the foul ball, but not the visitors. Randall said, hey, remember me? 6 minutes, 4 seconds to go in the first half. First down, and it will be 1st and 15 as the left side moved. And the guy who's just now moving, that's 76, Josh Widener, who is indeed that, 307.
Yeah, and when he moves, everybody sees it.
That was a 4 on the Richter when he moved, actually.
And you saw he was just kind of down there discouraged with himself about doing that. He knows his team had something going there, and now he's put him in a hole.
You got 2 guys on the offensive line, 300 plus. That's a pretty good route that time by Ben Eggers.
Wow, he popped out of there. He's
a lot of bodies.
He was still going, yeah.
Too many cars on the highway there.
Paul Allen a little bit slow to get up for the Wonders. I think he was probably the first guy there, and Paul, more often than not, seems to be the guy who gets up off the bottom of the pile.
At the 40-yard line, it'll bring up 2nd down. They need to get to the just inside the Wonder 47-yard line for a 1st down. There you see.
And these 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs, Randy, are where you get in that danger zone, giving the Wonder secondary a chance to make you pay.
Wing on the left here with 1 wide to the bottom of your screen, and Boss will put it up. Incomplete. Out around midfield. Intended receiver that time was Michael Lewis. But he had some coverage.
He threw a strike. All they were trying to do there was get most of it, not trying to go for the big bomb and get it all in one play. If they had completed that, they would have had about a 3rd and 3 or so, but now it's going to be 3rd and long. So far in the game, Boston is 1 for 4, 15 yards.
That one pass was a rope over the middle in the 1st quarter.
And I think that's the kind of play that's going to be there for him.
Lewis split to the top. He's got Robinson on him. On 3rd and 13. Play fake, short side. Here's Boss. He'll be run out of bounds by Gill, and that'll be far short of the necessary yardage for Fred T. Foard. The clock will stop, though, with 5:09 to go.
And that's a crucial stand for the Kannapolis defense, because now with that much time left, they're going to have an opportunity to score here again. You know, Foard can't afford to go for it right now. They've got to kick it away, and that's going to give Kannapolis enough time to get downfield. Both teams, I believe, still have 2 timeouts left.
It'll be Robinson along with Maddox back deep inside the 30-yard line. Kannapolis shows about 9 guys. Now they peel back off the line of scrimmage, and this one's going to the sidelines. And Robinson can't quite track it down, and it stayed in bounds and walked the tightrope. Will go out inside the 13-yard line.
Nice kick. And there's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Let's see what that's all about. Looks like they're talking to the Kannapolis captain out there to see what they want to do. So
it looks like it's going to be against the Wonders. Well, I don't know.
Let's see.
They're just going to get the ball, I believe.
If they get a chance, they might make him kick it over again, because that ball is going to be downed at about the 11 or 12-yard line, so they might make him kick it again.
Holding against Kannapolis as a preliminary call. And that will give Foard a 1st down.
Wow. What a tremendous, tremendous break for Fred T. Foard at this stage of the game. Instead of Kannapolis getting the ball 5 minutes to go in the half, up by 2 touchdowns, Foard keeps the drive alive. That's a key moment in the game.
And that will cost them 10 big yards. It was 4th and 7. And that will move it down to the Wonder 44-yard line. And they're back in business.
Got to imagine Bruce Harden's not a happy camper down on the sidelines right about now. 3 penalties for 40 yards against the Wonders so far.
They split the backs with a wing back on the left side and a receiver, Lewis, to the top. And there was some motion there, but it was not called. Now Boss will scramble and goes out of bounds.
Jeremy Dula was moving as the ball was snapped, but evidently the officials felt like he was okay. Maybe in that alignment, he's allowed to do that kind of thing. I think the problem is if you turn back toward the line of scrimmage and try to get set and you're not set for a full beat, they'll get you.
No gain on the play, actually a loss.
Now, we mentioned 3 penalties for the Wonders, Randy. One of them took 6 off the board. Another one keeps this drive alive.
And they put 6 on the board for Foard. 4:53 to go in the 1st half. Well, that one's going nowhere. Quincy Perdue and Jeremy Dula saying, man, didn't you see him? He gives me the ball.
Desmond Williams, the guy who broke through and made the play happen, though, but Perdue was with him. They both break through. There's Des right there, and he wrapped up about 3 guys and said, I'll figure out which one's got the ball later.
Yeah, there was a 90, not a 60, but they were there. And that's a big loss back near midfield. Now it puts you in 3rd and long, and you just about got to figure, well, we tried the reverse, we run the ball, now we're going to have to throw it maybe. But Boston showed us something from running. from the quarterback position.
And virtually every time he's thrown it, they've rolled him out to buy him a little extra time.
Let's see if he comes big side up. They're going to go with the fullback up the middle, and this might do it. Nope, they'll catch him short. Not a bad play call. Ben Eggers rumbles down to the Wonder 41-yard line, but they'll be short. And now the decision with 4th down coming up. Do you go for it?
Take a look at it again here, right up the middle. You know the Wonders had to be thinking pass, and he's had some good plays running straight up the gut like that, and they're going. And the Wonder defense not quite set. The official comes out of his hat. All kind of mayhem going on down there.
On 4th and 7. And they'll have the first down. Inside the Wonder 30-yard line.
And I'm telling you what now, Randy, that B.J. Walton is running over some guys out there tonight. That's a strong kid.
This should give the Wonders time to get set and go with the quick count.
Look at him here. Great blocking. Look at that. He's just running over guys down there. That kid's a load.
3.5 to go. The clock running. First half, and the Tigers on the move at the 29. It'll be Walton again, right side. Stopped. That was Paul Allen who got a hold of the jersey and slung him to the ground.
Boy, that Paul Allen is a player, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's always around the ball, always doing something positive for his team.
No huddle here for the Tigers. No gain on the play.
And it kind of caught the Wonders by surprise last time they did it.
And they'll go with the fullback. Eggers up the middle, and once he hit Rayvar Harris, and let's see who else really put the
Gotta be
spin
Gill.
on. Yep.
Yep. Well, if somebody makes a tackle for Kannapolis and you have trouble saying who it is, just say Gill. 9 times out of 10, you'll be right.
Yeah. It is 3rd and 3. At the 22-yard line. Eggers again, and he's wrapped up by Rashad Robinson, who got there initially, and then the pursuit catches up.
Allen was there. Purdue was there.
And Gill would have been there if they needed any help.
Well, you went for it last time. You almost got to go for it here now.
If you try to do a field goal, you're looking at about a 40-yarder from this distance. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first half. The clock is running, and 4th and 3 facing the Fred T. Foard Tigers. They will come with a big wide out to the bottom of your screen. We don't think. It'll be B.J. Walton around the right side, and he'll be wrapped up, and I think he's got enough for the first down.
Depends on the spot, but it sure looked like he got it.
Down near the 18-yard line.
Now that's just almost identical to the play they used to get the first down last time they went for it on 4th, and that kid has come to play tonight.
Desmond Williams on the tackle, and it is close enough. They're going to bring the chains out, so this is big right here.
Boy, it didn't look that close.
Didn't get as good a spot as I thought. They stretch it, and he got it by the lip of the football.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was all that close, but
it was close.
So far tonight, Randy, on 4th down, Walton has 3 carries for 50 yards.
That's productivity.
That's productivity anytime, much less on 4th down now. That's getting the job done.
And 44 of that was on the touchdown run. 1:57 to go here before halftime. New life for the Fred T. Foard Tigers as they'll set it down 1st and 10 at the Wonder 19-yard line. Here's Most. Here is Dula. Cuts it inside the 10, still on his feet, and will go down inside the 5-yard line. Finally, Kraft brought him down.
And it was a fight, too. That looked like WCW out there going on when they were wrestling each other down. But what a tremendous momentum boost this would be for Foard if they can punch one in here, and they're getting awful close now. Keep in mind, it's all set up by the penalty on the Wonders when Foard was ready to kick it away to him. Actually did kick it away to him.
1st down and goal.
But 14 plays on this drive now, they've kept it almost 6 minutes.
Everybody in the backfield, when they give it to Walton, he'll be stopped short of the goal line. It'll be 2nd down coming up inside the 1.
And look, Kraft comes out of there with the football.
You can do anything you can. Steal that sucker. Boy, that would be huge if they were to turn it over right now.
To give Coach Gorey and his staff a lot of credit, it would be easy for his team to let down. You go down 21-6 and have to punt it away, and it looks like things are all going against you. Give him, his staff, credit. 17th play now the drive for keeping his team in it here.
Inside the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal coming up. Bost to Walton, stopped.
Man,
Nope, they got in. It was hit
They stopped him.
but that second effort.
Man,
3 guys.
that's a strong man right there now.
And the Tiger fans across the far way, you see their excitement is,
Look at that. He's just dragging 3 guys in there with him.
they're back in the game, folks. And it comes with 50 seconds to go. It's one of the bigger Panther flags you'll see. And now the decision, they had the extra point blocked on the first touchdown. Do you go for 2? Obviously so.
It looks like they are.
They're down by 9. Now this is a big 2-point conversion here.
Well, the way things have been going, you almost have to go back to Walton.
And no, they're going to go Fost rolling left, and it's incomplete off the fingertips of Dula, who
He had
a
it.
safe pass to the outside, but just couldn't quite hold it in. So the Panthers, or not the Panthers, I don't want to call them that, the Tigers get a little closer. They're down 21-12 with 50 seconds to go here. I'm thinking about the Panthers who are playing in the mountains against the other team, the SBC Concord, this weekend. We'll be back. Woody, as we come back, the one thing you don't want to do now is kick it deep to Tremaine or Nick Maddox.
Well, the lesser of 2 evils, I guess, is kicking it to Tremaine, but you certainly don't want to kick it to Nick. I imagine they'll squib it, and he's got the ball lying flat on the tee, so he's not going to get that thing up in the air.
Ben Eggers squibs it. One bouncer. Oops. Allen finally says, I guess I'll fall on it.
Oh, and Allen gets up jawing at the guy that hit him, but that's his job, and that flag is probably going to go against Paul Allen for jawing.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
A little taunting or jawing, as you said, and
Well, Paul had about, 15 tries to pick that ball up, and finally just had to fall on it, and he took exception to the hit he got after that and felt like there was a little bit more to it.
oh, you don't really need to fall on you because you're down. Once you go down, maybe that's what Paul was thinking there. There you see it. Oh, what an impressive drive.
Sure
And,
was.
The Tigers have had 2 tonight.
And one of them ended with a fumble, and the other one was kept alive by a big Kannapolis penalty. And another penalty here for the Wonders that took them out of good field position.
Ball is still resting at just over the Wonder 20-yard line. They'll go the fullback, and Allen's got a hole up the middle. Sidesteps one man and will get about 15 on the play. They surprise Fred T. Foard because somebody other than Nick got the football. It was Allen up the middle. And
Had a big hole. Clock is stopped while they move the chains, but the Wonders in a hurry get right back to the line of scrimmage, and now Foard is going to take a timeout.
that last play, Chad Lambert really just buried somebody on the offensive line. We'll step away as well. 38 seconds to go in the first half. As we come back, Nick Maddox is in a wideout position. 4 wideouts and a single setback here. Harden obviously to the air. Backside pressure coming. And he doesn't escape. Brought down at the 31-yard line. Given chase that time, Stephen Westmoreland.
And Justin felt the pressure, tried to buy himself a little bit of extra time, but the pursuit had gotten too close to him. Wonders in a big hurry to get back and get set. Inside 20 seconds now.
Now Harden sets his offense back to the eye. They'll toss it to Allen, who can throw it. And he'll throw it up for grabs. It is up for grabs and incomplete. We saw that happen for a 98-yard touchdown up at Chapel Hill last year.
Right, but that one kind of hung on Paul a little bit that time. He threw it toward the middle of the field, and actually he's fortunate that wasn't picked off because there was some good coverage downfield by the Tigers. The ball a little bit underthrown and hung up in the air on him.
Now Nick Maddox will do that as well from that position. Obviously with 7 seconds to go, Wonders with a chance for one more play here. Everybody should get a workout here. They've been running these last 2 plays.
Well, let's see if they just
Allen is the
Harden
setback.
take a few steps back and see how far he can heave it.
Now they'll put Lipscomb in for some blocking. Straight drop, and Harden going deep. He's got Maddox behind the secondary. And he had 6 had he held on.
Sure did. And he knows it.
Well, you don't see him drop many. And that is the end of the first half, and what has been a great one. Brown on top by 9 points as we go to the locker room. Memorial Stadium along with Woody Kane and Steve Gannon and Randy Whitley. It's 21-12. We've had a, what you call a little smash mouth, a little finesse. We've had a great football game, and let's take a look at some numbers, and they're impressive.
Well, you see the rushing yards fairly even, the passing yards, total yards fairly even, first downs fairly even there. But you see both teams struggling a little bit through the air. Foard had the one turnover when they had a long drive going, and that kept them more than likely from another score that would have kept them closer in this game. 4 penalties for 55 yards for the Wonders, and one of those kept the drive alive that led to a Fred T. Foard touchdown. And there was also that situation on the kick where Foard fumbled it, Kannapolis got it and fumbled it right back. So all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And what about that 69-yard touchdown run in the first quarter by Nick Maddox?
Undescribable. It's just a thing of beauty as the Wonders back out onto the field. They will kick off to the Fred T. Foard team. 2 great individual performances in the backfield on both sides of the ball here in the first half.
Sure is. B.J. Walton just had an exceptional half. He's got like 93 or 91 yards in the first half, getting the job done, and just some power running. Great line work up front by the Foard team to get back in it after it looked like Kannapolis was in a position to blow them out. There you get a look at B.J. Walton. Had an exceptional first half. Maddox 151 yards in the first half as well. So some fine athletes putting on a great show here for the fans.
And we'll see what adjustments. How can you make adjustments? You can't coach speed. You can't coach. You can't stop them if they're bigger than you and running over you. I mean, it's going to be one in the trenches here tonight. And it's the tortoise and the hare, I guess, as Danny Jenkins, who's a big guy in his own right, 6'4", 200 pound, and a senior, kicks it. And a line driver taking it about the 28-yard line. This is one of the up guys, David Kearns, and he'll go down after a couple of yards on the return.
Pretty decent field position to start off the second half for Foard as they come out. The other thing to remember, Randy, is both times Foard has gone for the extra point. They had the kick blocked and the pass dropped, so that's why they've only got 12 right now. Some fans are just joining us, haven't read the papers or whatnot, but those could come back to haunt them, because even if they come down here and score, you know, they're still going to be down 3 points.
They need 2 scores at any rate. Here's a give to the fullback, Edgars. And he got maybe a couple that time. Check it, Gerald Walton. I'm sorry. Got so many Waltons in the backfield.
And they've had some success with that play with the fullback straight up the gut in the first half, just to keep the defense from looking at Walton entirely. He's getting about 25 carries a game through the season for this Tiger offense.
Kannapolis scored first of this game, led it. Then the extra point was blocked 7-6, and then they went on a run, went to 21-6. What he was talking about, on the verge of maybe blowing out. Showed us some character with that big long drive, and now they can inch a little closer here if they can do something on offense this series. 2nd down and 6. It'll be B.J. Walton, hit and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe scooted forward for a yard. Desmond Williams coming in to make the hit. Williams 6'3", 275. Talk about size. He's one of the biggest Wonder linemen out there.
Yeah, it looked like Walton had some room to the left out there, but it almost looked like he ran into the back of one of his own guys right as he was trying to make his move. Either that or one of the Wonder guys pushed him into him.
You hit one of those 300-pound offensive linemen, you're not going anywhere.
No, not in a hurry anyway.
3rd down and 7. Just over the 35-yard line. Here is Bost rolling right. Under control, pumps, and will be punched out of bounds. Up there to make the coverage was Marcus Rivens, the 5'11" junior, and that will force Foard into a punting situation. So a good defensive stand for Kannapolis that series.
And that's been a sore spot for the Wonders in the first half. You saw Foard convert several 3rd and longs and some 4th and shorts and really keep drives alive in that situation.
Randall Moss, the 5'10" junior, standing at the 25-yard line. Tigers got to give the football up. Kicks it toward the sidelines, away from Maddox, but it will be Tremaine Robinson trying to field it. Tough right there at the 30-yard line. It'll go out of bounds.
And they're doing the smart thing, not kicking it to Maddox, because he can burn you on the runbacks. We've seen it time and again this year, and they have made up their minds they're not going to kick it to him, not going to have any kind of a run back, and even Robinson couldn't reel that one in. There you see, next week, we don't know where we'll be or if the situation's there. Yeah, Concord playing up in the mountains, and the winner of this game goes to take on the winner of East Rutherford and North Davidson, and there you see we'll be back on Headliners Wednesday night, provided either Kannapolis or Concord or both wins. We'll be back with Headliners.
3 wide out on first down, and it will be Maddox. Spinning after about a yard, maybe 2 that time. It looked like number 60 was there initially, and that was Brian Eller, the 5'11", 240-pound junior.
And I'm going to say this now because it's probably the only time all season I'll get to say it. He caught Nick Maddox from behind. You won't see that very often.
Not a lot of people catch it.
Fans stacked up at the line there.
Kind of a quiet crowd here, starting the second half, filing back in their seats, trying to get the Wonders pumped here on offense as Harden goes in motion on second down. It'll be Maddox again. Steps out, cuts to the outside, and loses his footing. A lot of white shirts over there, trimmed in blue.
Good move toward the outside. Maddox a little frustrated there. He had the room, and right here he makes a great move back out. Got a good block there, but then just too many white jerseys as Maddox wanted to cut back against the grain again.
Just shy of the 31-yard line. Wonders now with 3rd and long.
Still haven't seen Danny Jenkins get into the offense yet. They tried him a couple of times, but he hasn't had a catch yet.
Got him split to the top, along with Blair Harden this time. Play fake, and they're going that way. And Jenkins is open. Woody called it. First down, Wonders. There's your money man right there.
Well, that guy just has the knack for finding the seam in the defense. He's done it again and again and again.
Jenkins' 20th catch on the year.
Look at that. Look at all the room he's got around him. He just knows where to be.
He's got 5 touchdown catches on the season as well. And a safe pass.
You look back at some of the missed opportunities in this game. The fumble by Foard, the dropped extra point conversion, 2-point conversion. Maddox drops the ball that was probably 6 at the end of the half.
Here's Hart looking, sidelines. He's got his brother open. Complete first down, out of bounds at the Foard 32-yard line. Now that was pretty. And he threw it where nobody could catch it except his brother.
Okay, I thought they were trying to say he didn't, but watch him here reel it in with his hands. He has to wait on it just a little bit. Got himself some room and did a good job to look down and make sure he got the feet in bounds.
Well, Justin is heating up. He's 2 for 2 here in the second half.
We said it all season long. This team is much, much more than just Nick Maddox.
Jenkins and Harden to the bottom, Chambers to the top, the wideouts, Lipscomb and Maddox in the backfield. It'll be a quick toss short side. Maddox gets to the 30. Good tackle by 61 coming in, Westmoreland.
And he got Maddox off balance that time and kept that one from being a big play because it looked like Nick had some room. You've seen some good penetration all night long from this Fred T. Foard defensive front.
The clock shows 8 minutes and 20 seconds, and it's ticking here in the 3rd period. First offensive series for the Wonders in the second half, leading by 9. Back to the I formation on second down. Harden, Maddox spinning, trying to hold on to the football, and a sea of white and blue surrounds him for a loss back at the 37-yard line.
And Nick absolutely had nowhere to go. He was just swarmed under almost as soon as he got the ball that time. You see he's got a blue mark on the back of his helmet there. It shows you those guys are laying the plastic to one another tonight.
Some battle scars. The line to make the 21-yard line to keep the drive going. It is 3rd down. And a whistle, the officials.
It's like there's an equipment problem down there with one of the Fred T. Foard players. Something's wrong with the helmet.
And look at the savvy of the junior quarterback. He comes over and says, I'm going to talk to the coaches here during this breakage. Maybe we'll change the play. Bob Jacobs saying something to it.
He was talking to Shelwyn Klutz, his quarterback coach, as well.
On 3rd down. Straight drop. Good protection. Looking deep. He's got Maddox open at the 5. Touchdown. I forgot about Nick in the pass pattern.
Well, he showed him in the first half. You can't afford to forget about him. And he just outruns the coverage. And a great pass from Harden. Maddox had to wait just a little bit, but he has enough speed to where he opened up a margin and was able to score again.
Justin Harden probably just couldn't wait to turn that one loose when he saw 20 break at the post. So that puts it back to a 15-point lead, and now Here's a big extra point, Woody. We give them a 16-point lead. That's 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. The kick is up by Garber, and it's true. We have a timeout on the field with 7 minutes and 18 seconds to go. Back with the Wonder kickoff in just a moment. Harden with his 17th touchdown pass of the season gives the Wonders a little bit of a cushion here as here comes the Kannapolis kickoff. Jenkins got some air into this one.
Sure did.
Back at the 2-yard line. This is number 44, B.J. Walton, and he's put down. And now there's a little
Yeah, it was down there with Nick Gill and Frederick White. They were kind of rolling around with each other down there behind the play, and Gill tried to get up, and Frederick White just kind of fell on him, and that's what caused the fans to stand up and yell there. They wanted a flag.
And the referee, perhaps with a good no call there, just warned him. That'll probably be the only warning shot they get tonight. So here come the Tigers at their own 21-yard line. Boss gives it to B.J. Walton around the right side, and Ryan Kraft makes the tackle. What do you guess who I saw at halftime?
No
I saw that guy who just made the tackle's older brother. He's doing great.
William Kraft?
William Kraft.
What's he doing?
Being 19.
Being a football fan.
Oh, yeah. He said, this reminds me so much of the Burns team we played last year.
Yeah.
That was his exact sentiments. Big and heavy and likes to rumble.
Key moment or key possession for Fred T. Foard here.
Their first series was 3 and out. Now they'll go with the fullback, and Eggers, with some room, slices up to about the 29-yard line, and then the pile moves back.
Eggers had some pretty good success in the first half as well. You see Coach Gorey on the sidelines there with some of his players.
It'll be 3rd and short coming up, right at the 30-yard line.
3rd and 1 Tigers.
There you see the vital stats. The clock shows about 6 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Wonders up tight defensively. Fullback, he'll have the first down, and a little bonus coverage out to the 41-yard line goes Ben Eggers. It was finally Raybar Harris on the stop for Kannapolis.
And the Wonder defense is geared now toward trying to find a way to stop that B.J. Walton, who's been having an outstanding night, and Eggers has just been kind of quietly putting together a real solid game. Kannapolis jumped, I think, unless they say he was drawn off by Foard.
Desmond Williams, the guilty party, broke the point. That'll cost the Wonders 5. It will be 1st and 5 now at the Fred T. Foard 47-yard line.
So the Wonders beginning to pile up some pretty significant penalty yardage here, and they're coming at costly times.
Wing on the right. And it'll be Eggers ahead for about 2, maybe 3 that time. Kirkpatrick, the first guy in the backfield, or actually at the point of tackle, and big Quincy Perdue coming up off the bottom of the pile. Now Quincy's in the band, I understand, as well, but on Friday nights he doesn't bring his instrument.
Yeah, that would definitely be illegal equipment out there.
His hands are his instrument if you're a running back.
Yeah, you don't want to have him find you.
Lethal weapons indeed. 2nd. And it is B.J. Walton around the corner, and he just, like a little rolling bowling ball there, will carry it out across midfield down to the Wonder 48, 49-yard line. It'll be a first down. What's this?
And this is the play they've used with great success all night long, Randy, going around the right end with B.J. Walton. And you know, he's a guy who's got some size to him, 198 pounds, but he's only 5'9", got a low center of gravity.
Looks like he's got over 100. But we'll sort that out in a minute. We have a timeout on the field with 4:53 remaining, 3rd period. Wonders call a break here. We return to Memorial Stadium. It is 1st down and 10 at the Wonder 48-yard line. Quick toss to B.J. Walton around the right side. He's got some room and cuts on a burst of speed down at the Wonder 25-yard line. It was Robinson running him down from behind.
And you don't think a guy like that has good speed, but he really does. He showed you there. And that's a great call by the Tiger coaching staff. They've been going to the right side all night long. Quick pitch back to the left, and it has everybody fooled. And the last carry before this one put B.J. Walton at 101 yards, so he's well over that mark now.
Twin sets this time for Randall Boston Company. Fullback, Eggers tripped up. I think his old man got in the way. Stephen Westmoreland, the offensive lineman.
Purdue puts him down, but you're right. He got his feet tangled up with one of his own guys and just had to dive forward and get as much out of it as he could.
Now the yards get a little tougher here as we're down to the 23-yard line, and the clock down to about 4 minutes to go, the third period. A long time to go in this game, and this a crucial possession, crucial drive here for the Tigers.
Definitely need points here if they're going to stay in this game.
Wing on the right. Now they'll send him in motion. And they go with Walton, and he hits a wave of green. They guessed that time. Rashawn Robinson and company were waiting on him, and Walton had a little, his bell rung there. He's a tough customer, though.
Well, Walton knew that time he had a bunch of green jerseys in front of him. He wasn't going to be able to get much, so he just kind of lowered his head and made the best of a bad situation. Walter's not fooled by that one.
Loss of a couple, and now it sets up 3rd and 10. And now that's something that Coach Gorey and his staff don't want to get into.
Well, undoubtedly at this point you're in 4-down territory, so.
Just inside the 25-yard line. Bost giving it to Walton. He's got a seam, and he gets loose for about 6 or 7. Now the question is, do you go for it? Obviously, I think we probably answered that.
Yeah, you have to now. You're down 15 points, and here it is again. Look at the lineman pulling out there and just eliminating people coming down the line. You saw big number 64, Corey Yoder, 265 pounds. Key moment for both teams, and Foard wants to talk it over.
We'll have to wait. It'll be 4th down and 4 when we return. 2:48 to go in the third quarter. There's the new addition we talked about in the first half. It does everything except go to the grocery store, we understand.
And it's blinking. The fans are standing. Huge play right here.
4th and 4. Boss on the reverse. Here comes Dulon. He'll be stopped. Kirkpatrick springs the ball loose, and it's going to be picked up by the Wonders. And coming back the other way is Marcus Ryman's, and nobody is going to catch him. What a huge play, Woody Kane, indeed.
Boy, they just stood him up, stripped the ball out, and Ribbons was off to the races that time, Randy, as the ball bounced right in front of him, and that is a backbreaker for Fred T. Foard.
Defense certainly does win championships, doesn't it?
Well, the Wonders have him outnumbered over here anyway, and it looked like it maybe was Gill who stripped him. But look at him go. He could go all the way.
Rumbling, stumbling. 72 yards on the fumble return. And what a turnaround.
Yep.
What a turnaround.
Because Foard, the way their offense is geared, doesn't strike you as a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. They want to use up a lot of clock and get down the field and grind it out. We haven't seen them show explosiveness in terms of being able to just motor down the field in big chunks.
The extra point is up, and Garver now, the senior, 5 of 5 in that category. 2:32 to go. The Wonders extend their lead, and their kickoff is next. As we return, Woody, the biggest lead of the night for the Wonders, and the defense once again playing a big role here in the second half.
Everybody talks about Nick Maddox and even the way Justin Harden's been throwing the ball, offense for Kannapolis, but boy, this defense is really making some plays of their own.
There's a knuckleball fielded cleanly and run out to about the 40-yard line by David Kern. So good field position for Fred T. Foard, who is now looking up at their biggest deficit of the night, and could have got within maybe 8 points on that last drive, and now, oh, what a turnaround. That's kind of like a tennis match there, match point.
Well, for the second week in a row, big turnovers generated by this defense have given the Wonders a huge spark, and you got to wonder now if Ford's going to start putting it in the air. They almost have to.
Now let's see what Randall Boss does. Play fake, rolls short side. Backside pressure, and he'll run out of the room. Crunch, Purdue, and the guy who just returned the fumble, Ryman's on the tackle.
Well, he just had nothing downfield. They only had one receiver in that pattern, and you know, you figure the numbers there, one receiver and 4 defensive backs, it just doesn't add up, and he didn't have anywhere to throw it. Made something out of nothing there rolling out, though.
As they're checking the equipment.
And stop the clock getting out of bounds, and you wouldn't think that would be too important in the third quarter here, but they've already used a timeout, and at this point they need that clock to stop as much as possible.
Oh, Kirkpatrick finally got all the calls on B.J. Walton and says, "Where are you going?"
Well, Kerwan said, "I'm tired of that guy running by me."
I had him on a string, says, reeled him back in. There you go.
Nope, not this time.
Kirkpatrick. Kirkjohn had a huge game last week, 220 pounds. And if you're the defensive line coach, he's a junior, so you say, gosh, I get to enjoy that young man another year. At the 43-yard line of the Tigers, 3rd and 7.
Wonders holding all the aces right now.
Here's Moss rolling big side, now looking back to the short side with the completion. And he may have had the first down had he not slipped when he made his cut. B.J. Walton.
He sure did, Randy. He had some room there and looked like one of the Wonder defenders had fallen down over there. And Walton definitely had enough room to make the first down. But, you know, we saw Maddox slip earlier and saw Walton slip there. Maybe the field's getting a little bit damp.
And Alcanapolis will show 9 guys on the line of scrimmage to try to come after this Randall Moss punt. And they peel back. This one toward the sidelines, and there will be a return by Robinson. Gets a good block by Kraft. Gets away from another man. And just too many numbers at the 25-yard line. A flag is down. Probably a block in the back.
Generally, that's what you see on the run backs, and that might be maybe what, the second time Kannapolis has been able to get a return tonight?
There's a clip. Yeah. There haven't been many.
Take a look at it again, see if we can pick up the clip. You'll see him come right and then try to come back. Maybe that was it right there, but I think he was just still in front.
Yeah, there was where the flag
I think the call was going to be on Kraft.
So that'll whack the Wanderers back deep inside their territory, back at the 10-yard line. The clock shows 52 seconds to go in the third period.
However, the Wonders have enough points to win the game. Their main goal now is to keep the clock ticking.
I guess you could say got them right where we want them.
Yeah.
Harden keeps it, cuts it upfield for about 2, maybe 3 on the play. And don't think, unless they need it, Justin may not be throwing the ball up too many times deep down here in this territory.
Nick Saford looks like he gets up limping a little bit after that play.
One of those unsung heroes on the offensive line, Nick Saford, the 5'11 senior, 205 pounds, steady as a rock.
Looks like he's okay, though.
Chad Lambert, the center, over the football. And now Harden will call a timeout with 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll step away. It's the Metro 12 Game of the Week. First round of the state high school playoffs. Fred T. Foard, the Tigers, down right now to the A.L. Brown Wonders of Kannapolis, who are winners of 18 straight, currently the defending state 3A high school football champions, undefeated.
Justin Harden saw something he didn't like when he got to the line of scrimmage that last time. Let's see what they've decided to do here.
2nd and 7.
Blitz coming. They pick it up.
Here's Harden throwing under pressure and looking for Chambers, but well off target, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Harden took a shot at the end of that play, and he's asking for a penalty over there, and the Foard player is asking the official for an unsportsmanlike call. So
the referee says, I'll throw the flag when I get good and ready.
You guys just play ball.
That's why I'm the referee and you're the participants.
One more play in the quarter.
Blair Harden and Jenkins split to the left of your screen. Chambers wide to the top. Straight drop over the middle, picked off. And it will be Eggers returning it for Fred T. Foard. He is banged. 64 finally caught him for Kannapolis, Jason Rates.
And I wonder is hurt at about the 26 or 27 yard line. Can't pick up the number. Might be Jenkins. Take a look at it again. The ball's underthrown. Some pretty good pressure. It looked like he was looking for Blairhart downfield. And yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it looked like Danny Jenkins got a shot to the elbow or
maybe the forearm or the wrist area. So they're out there, and that will be a big blow if Jenkins sustains something like a bruise or a broken bone there. They'll work on him and we'll step away. 2 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Danny Jenkins obviously in a little bit of pain there, and it could be the elbow, the wrist. We just want to speculate, but obviously
looks like maybe the wrist area is what they're looking at.
Well, that is a big blow to a very valuable receiver.
And don't forget the punter and then the kicker too.
We want to add that there was a personal foul, dead ball against Kannapolis. They moved it half the distance during the timeout. Now it's 1st and goal at the 7. Here's Walton, hit by Kirkpatrick along with Robinson and Deron Lipscomb.
And Kerwan has come to play here tonight, especially in this second half. But that was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Kannapolis as we went to break last time.
We'll walk it down to the other end as we've got 12 more minutes in regulation. Ball resting just inside the 10-yard line of Kannapolis as the Wonder cheerleaders, who have had a lot to cheer about during this 98 campaign. And look at the penalty yardage.
And they've come at just the worst possible times for Kannapolis tonight. Fortunately, they've been able to put a bunch of points on the board, so it hasn't cost them that dearly as yet. The ambulance is pulled down there now, and looks like they're going to send Danny Jenkins to the hospital to get that arm checked out.
Well, it was Evar Johnson last week. This week, Danny Jenkins is. It is 2nd down and goal just inside the 10. Here is Dula cutting it against the grade up the middle and draws a little company. Paul Allen and a few other folks in on the dance. And that one.
Is there a flag? I think there might be a flag in there somewhere.
It's hard to see with all that humanity down there. As the umpire takes a long time, especially after there's Robinson on the bottom.
Evidently not.
What's Tremaine doing on the bottom of that stack? He got crunched too. Well, let's hope Jenkins' prognosis is nothing serious there. Hopefully that's just a precautionary measure. We'll try to find out something for you, hopefully, by the end of the game.
Like he just took a shot right on the arm.
3rd and goal. Walton gets a great block. Cuts it into the 5. The Wonder pursuit led by Robinson, along with Raymar Harris, catches him inside the 5. They closed in a hurry that time.
They sure did. They swarmed to the ball, but a good hold that time for Walton, just not quite enough. Great block there. Another great block, but then just too many green jerseys around to allow Walton to get into the end zone, and you have no choice here. You got to go for it.
4th down at just inside the 4-yard line. Wilson, one wide receiver. Lewis to the right of your screen.
Fans on their feet.
Here's Foss looking in zone, rolling right. Now sees the protection break down, and the Wonders will catch it. Rashad Robinson.
And remember, before the game, when Steve Gant was doing the pregame interview, you heard the name Rashad Robinson come up, and he comes up big right here.
Great secondary coverage by the Wonders that time, as he had plenty of time.
Boss just could not find any place to throw the ball. He had it up and ready to throw it about 3 times and pulled it back down each time.
So with 10:28 to go in the ball game, the Wonders leading 35-12, have the football on offense at their own 8-yard line.
It's like you got Nate Jones, number 17, now in for Jenkins at one of the receiver positions.
We give to Maddox. Eludes a few guys and gets out across the 10, maybe the 11. Nick with a electrified 61-yard touchdown run in the first period that put the Wonders on top. A I don't know, that might have been one of those eighth wonders of the world that we watched.
That was something, no question about it. And I think he's going to start piling up a lot more carries. However, in the second half, Nick has carried it 5 times for -1 yard.
He'll get the call again. Skips to the outside, cuts to the inside. There's the burst of speed. Zigs and zags, and still on his feet out across the 30-yard line. Almost got away.
I think he's back in positive yardage now in the second half.
I believe he is.
61.
That was something. He probably ran 50 yards on this play. Look at him just cutting back against the grain, making guys miss. Boy, he just, look at the guy right in the middle of the picture, David Kearns. He just turned him around backwards as he ran by him.
His ability to stop on a dime. He's got those great breaks, I want to tell you.
He does have good speed, but the change of direction is what really gives teams fits.
1st and 10. Maddox. And nothing there. Back to the line of scrimmage.
He was wrapped up that time by number 52, Micah Page. And while Page had a hold of him, Maddox was just standing there looking downfield like there was no guy with his arms around him. He was looking for a place to make a break upfield.
He was behind the line of scrimmage, you know. Might have decided to throw it.
You never know.
9 minutes to go in the game. Wanderers content to chew up the clock. They'll offset the backs here out of the eye with 2 wide this time. Fullback, Hart fakes to the fullback, keeps it, and he's loose. Midfield, Justin Hart. All the way to the end zone, Randy. And you know what that was? He ran a blitz coming and cut it back to the inside of the pressure, and turned it into a touchdown. Right here, you see it coming inside on the blitz. They snuck up to the line of scrimmage just before the snap. Harden read it and was off to the races. Look at him go. About 70 yards on the touchdown run, and just dives into the end zone.
Boy, it looked like that Dula was going to run him down from behind, but he ran out of gas.
Man, that's 2 long runs, about the same distance out of the Wonder backfield. With 8:34 to go here in the contest.
Here's another thing you won't be able to say much. Harden has outrushed Maddox in the second half.
That won't happen very often. Garver's kick is over. And it's 42-12. The Wonders with their biggest lead of the game, 30 points. And the kickoff is next. Well, the Wonders appear to be headed to round number 2 of the playoffs, Woody, and their opponent, an 8 or 9 seed, either East Rutherford or North Davison. Both teams with but a loss each. So the competition gets a little stiffer each round that you get into. And
Coach Harden has always said the second round of the playoffs are critical. Every round is, obviously, but he really feels like that's the hump you have to get over.
And here's Walton. Wow, ambushed. He went about 6 yards, about a foot off the ground. He just stays low.
Got that low center of gravity, good balance. There you see the scoring drive for the Wonders. 70-yard touchdown run for Justin Harden, who read Eggers sneaking up on the blitz, cut inside of him and took off.
Now listen to this number. 21 carries for Walton, 132 yards so far tonight. They need a bunch more out of this young man.
He's had a big night, but the 2 turnovers have just been devastating to the Tigers.
Maddox with 167 yards on 20 carries, and here's Walton again. Wrestled out of bounds.
Bodies seem to fly whenever he's involved, don't they?
Well, Nick Gill was over there, and Ryan Kraft is just playing. Well, he's only 155 pounds, but don't tell him, okay? Well, he's played about a 205 game here tonight.
You can't fault Walton. He's come out here. He's a senior, likely playing in his last game, and he's just had a tremendous effort tonight.
8 minutes, 22 ticks to go. And the fullback stopped that time abruptly. Paul Allen got the bear hug on him at about the 38-yard line.
And all those people all year long who thought Kannapolis was not much more beyond Nick Maddox are finding out now that this team can do a whole lot more, especially defensively.
Exactly. And you say, well, those 6 shutouts, they came against the Piedmonts and some of the other teams. Well, 6 shutouts is 6 shutouts.
That's right.
And 14 points, I think the most points that has been scored on this team this year. There's the wrap up by Robinson at about the 40-yard line.
Going to be about a yard or less short of the first down, and you have to expect they're going to go.
And the Wonder D is pitching a shutout here in the second half, and if you're not going to give up any points, that's the best time to do it. It was 21-12 at halftime in favor of Kannapolis. And the Wonders have had 3 unanswered scores here in the second half. Harden on a run, Harden on a beautiful pass to Nick Maddox. Now on 4th down and less than a yard, they'll have the first down and a little bit more. Eggers across midfield to the Wonder 46-yard line. Rayvar Harris probably kept him out of the end zone with the tackle.
Sure did, and that, as we mentioned, has been an effective play. The quick hitter for the fullback, and he finds all kinds of room, and Harris gets it right there. The only other Wonder who would have had a shot at him was Sammy Brown, number 28.
Meanwhile, the clock continues to run inside 7 minutes. Wing back on the left side, the receiver split to the bottom. B.J. Walton, wow, he and Justin Chambers just stood him up, and Nick Gill down low. Well, tackle.
Walton stood Chambers up that time and drove him backwards about 3 yards. That's a powerful young man.
And
I'm telling you what, watch this. Pow, look at that. Ouch. And he made 4 guys fall his way.
Ouch.
Man. Some hitting going on down there tonight.
Well, when you get up in the western foothills, the mountain area in North Carolina, that's quick. They play some smash mouth football, indeed. This is White trying to cut it up. And it will be hemmed in at about the Wonder 38-yard line.
And after that play happened, Randy, Boston and Walton got tangled up with each other and collided and knocked each other down in the backfield.
A little deception.
Well, that's taking deception to an extreme right there.
Yes, it is.
37, 32.
I'll tell you what, I would hate to be behind a team like this by maybe 3 points late in the game, but
yeah,
you just can't get it back from them. Ball control. They are impressive offensive line balls on the ground, and I think the Tigers did recover. Yep, Eggers fell on it. And a pretty young team.
Well, they will have some key losses, primarily Walton. Frederick White is a senior. Eggers, a senior. Some of the key personnel seniors, but they do have some youth on this squad.
Alan Gorey's first year as head coach. Got to be really pleased with this team's effort this season. And can't wait to get started in the weight room. Fullback, Eggers again.
And guess who?
Slowed up by Chambers, but Nick Gill finally made the finishing touches there as we tick inside 4:45 in the contest. Well,
take a look again. Watch Gill at the end of this play. Just wrap him up and sling him down. And then throw the hands back like, no, I'm not going on with it. Don't throw the flag.
And I was wondering, okay, we did have a official measurement in the first half. It was very early in the game, but those guys are getting kind of lonely over there, so they're going to bring on the Maytag linesman.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Tremaine Robinson right there checking it out.
He's got the white shoes, got the shoes taped here.
Oh, just short. Oh, he did get it. From that angle, looks like it's just an inch short, but
see, everybody's got one white sock on.
It's about as close as it gets. Yeah, that must be something from the playoffs last year.
We saw, was it Ivar or somebody?
No, it was one of the defensive linemen, I believe.
Was it Miller? One of the seniors?
I can't remember.
We'll go back at the tapes and have that answer for you next week, folks.
Yeah, trivia question.
Who wore the sock?
The sockless wonder.
No, Rashad Robinson slides off of him, but his lips come over there, along with Quincy Perdue and a few other folks to wrap him up. Also, 28 around the football, Sammy Brown, who is a senior, getting some action.
So Robinson really stopped that play. He didn't make the tackle, but he slowed him up enough to let his teammates get there and shut that play down.
forget, we'll have round 2 for you next week, beginning Wednesday night with headliners. That is now 160 yards. And he's been a workhorse. 26 carries on the night for Walton. Man. Here's Moss to the air. Running out of room. And we'll go down. Robinson says, I get you.
But Randy, that's another secondary sack there because he had time to throw it, but simply couldn't find a man open downfield, and he kept having to hang on to it and hang on to it. And you can't ask a quarterback to stand back there that long and expect him to not take a sack.
A lot of new faces in here on defense. A few new folks mixed in for Kannapolis here in the final 4 minutes of the game. I see Maddox is on the sidelines. And the only question right now after a hard-earned victory tonight will be what is the question status injury report of Danny Jenkins. Well, they set up a little screen to the left. And whoa, Paul Allen diving for it, got close. The intended receiver coming out of the backfield was B.J. Walton.
Well, they wanted to lob it over the heads of the pressure that time. You had Robinson and Lipscomb coming from the right side of the field, their right side, and looked like Boss just tried to throw it through their arms, and I think one of them, or maybe even both, was able to tip that ball.
Well, it's 4th down, and the line to make is the Wonder 27-yard line. So they got a long way to go.
And look at this, Walton's coming out in the slot.
And a timeout call by Randall Moss. That'll stop the clock with 3:42 to go in the ball game. Back in just a minute. Welcome back. It's 4th and 14. And this could just about do it here for Fred T. Foard as Moss rolls to the left. And we'll go deep. End zone. And a touchdown. Jeremy Dula. Hang on.
Well, check it. That's not Dula.
Sorry, it was Michael Lewis. My mistake.
And it looked like there was some pretty good coverage back there. Good protection this time for Bost. And boy, he's got a gun, doesn't he? And that was Robinson on the coverage. But you look at Lewis, 6 feet tall, and Tremaine Robinson at 5'9". Lewis has the advantage on that one.
Very good touch by Randall Moss.
Boy, he really has a gun. That was a strike from about, what, 40 yards?
Yeah. And he was running out of room over there on the sidelines under a little bit of heat. So that'll get them to 18 now. And obviously, no question about it, they're going to go for 2. Moss rolls big side. End zone, tipped and batted down. So the conversion to 10 fails. And timeout. 3:32 to go here in Wonderland. And the Wonders leading by a 42-18 score. Brady Whitley along with Woody Kane, and I think Steve Gann is trying to find his way downfield side here. We'll have a post-game show for you.
Wonders have the good hands people up here, but they kick it past them.
And Nick Maddox will get a chance on a return here at the 20-yard line. And he'll just take it out of bounds out near the 30. And the Wonders with 3:27 to chew on the clock here. I remember last week Steve left in the first quarter to go downfield.
Boy, that was the crowd. That was a huge crowd for the Bell game last week.
I think we heard estimates, what, 13,000, 14,000. And Fire Marshal's nightmare.
Yeah, and don't forget, fans, we will be back Wednesday night now for Headliners live at 8 o'clock, and we will have a game next week for you.
We know Kannapolis is in. And if Concord wins, they'll be in. And the probability of that happening was we would be following the Spiders next week. Corey Maxwell is checked into the backfield for the Wonders as we try to rotate the coverage and be as fair as possible.
Hey, let's give a call to Sammy Brown, too. He was a guy who knocked down that 2-point conversion try.
A lot of guys that have moved up from the JV squad, which had an outstanding year, 9-1. And if that means that's what the future looks like, you never know.
Harden's trying to take every tick off the clock he can before he gets the snap.
Play clock shows was 1 second when he snapped it. That is clock usage indeed, and he'll get out of bounds. I think Dan over there probably said, why don't you just take a knee?
Yeah, he is over there giving him the grief now. You got to stay in bounds and keep from stopping the clock.
Yep, he's going to get that. And Coach Harden still teaching.
Yeah, I don't think that was what Coach Harden wanted to see at all on that play.
That's you get out of bounds and stop the clock if you're. That's not the objective right now. So,
well, I don't think he wanted him to run it in the first place, and in the second place, I know he didn't want him to go out of bounds.
So the professor over there is still teaching.
Always got to keep working.
Here is Maxwell trying to get to the outside, got to the 30, 31-yard line. Corey Maxwell had a fine year. He had almost 500 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns in the season. And don't forget, Marcello Stanback, the junior, will be back next year. He was injured. And Marcello, we saw some good things early in the season. John Garber is in now to take Danny Jenkins' place. Frederick White is back deep. So Garber is an excellent field goal and placement guy. Can kick it as well. Gets a good high kick, angles away, and takes a great roll. And now it will be White fielding and clotheslined out of bounds at the 41-yard line by Ryan Kraft over there.
Well, White had no choice. He needed to try and pick it up and make something happen. A couple of flags down back toward the line of scrimmage. Look at the replay again, and you'll see him get clotheslined at the end of this play. And this penalty, I think, is going to be against Foard. A couple of flags back toward the line of scrimmage. The officials talking about it now. The Wonders are signaling that it's against Foard. Here comes the referee to give us the call.
Once he confers with the other guys, the Stripers getting together here at the 40-yard line to see, well, let's see, bring the ball back.
And there might be even more than that. There are a couple of flags down. We'll have to see if that means there was more than one penalty or just if a couple of guys saw the same thing.
Quincy Perdue and Nick Gill have got it figured out over there. They look pretty under control. They're trying to sneak in to see what...
Yeah, they always try and creep up close. Players always do that, try and sneak in there and see if they can hear what they're talking about.
Say, Nick's over there saying, they can't see me, I'm hiding.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, we got an ejection. And it's going to be a first down for the Wonders.
So an automatic personal foul, the ejection, and automatic first down. So bring the offense back on, young man.
Well, the game had been decided, but you still hate to see that kind of thing at the end of the game.
Looks like there was an altercation between number 38 for Fred T. Foard, and that's Aaron Wilkie. And also for Kannapolis, the guilty party, Justin Chambers.
So Wilkie has been ejected, we understand.
With 1:50 to go in the ball game. And with a penalty, Kannapolis will break the huddle at their own 46-yard line.
Well, how much you want to bet Justin Harden doesn't go out of bounds again tonight? At least if he does, he'll go out of bounds on the Foard side because his dad's waiting for him over here on this side.
I don't think Dad'd be taking him home, do you? He may just take a knee here. Nope. We're going to get to Maxwell, and he'll spin for about 4. The tackle was Stephen Westmoreland, who has just played a great game tonight on defense. These Tigers got to be heard from.
Well, this Fred T. Foard is a well-coached unit. They marched the ball down the field several times, but a couple of key turnovers really cost them in this game. Both times they were down deep in Kannapolis territory. One of them led directly to a touchdown for the Wonders.
Clock showing 75 seconds remaining in the game with a 2nd and 6 opportunity just shy of midfield. And the toss will go to Maxwell. Oh, excuse me, not Maxwell. We'll get a new guy. This is Eric Caldwell. And Eric Caldwell surprising everybody inside the 20-yard line.
Eric's a 5'11", 165-pound sophomore.
One of those guys up for the JVs.
That's right, and in practice this week, he's going to be trying to tell the coaches, give me some more time. Oh, almost got the referee, too.
Yeah, you got to use that as a good pick there.
Nice run.
And everyone everybody's getting some action tonight. It'll be Ben Boswell checking in.
Yeah, but that's the problem. You got a guy like that playing in front of you, you're not going to get much time.
Nick looks like he's maybe having
holding his arm kind of awkwardly there.
On first down and 10, the toss will go. And Maxwell this time bang it off. You got a 20, a 23, and a 27, and they all run with blazing speed.
Yeah, blazing speed.
Well,
I wonder what's going to happen to those guys.
I don't know.
At the show, you know, we kind of left them hanging in the open there, trying to get to the game. I hope they make it for next week.
Well, I think there will be a continuing series here. And,
the two fans.
Stay tuned is all we can tell you. Tell you what, these guys did a lot of. I didn't know there was that many modes of transportation, did you?
Well, stay tuned, fans.
Here goes Caldwell off the gut to about the 11-12-yard line, and that'll probably be the final play of the ball game. The Wonders bent but didn't break, and get by and survive, I guess you could say, to round number 2. And they will get a standing ovation from the home crowd, which about a lot of people have left. They want to savor every moment of this victory. The Wonders now 12-0, and will go to round number 2 of the state high school playoffs next week against either East Rutherford or North Davidson. 42-18 our final score. We'll be back with some post-game comments in just a minute. Memorial Stadium, a happy crowd going home here in Wonderland. 42-18 our final score. Let's go field side. Here's Steve Camp.
Thanks, Randy, with winning Coach Bruce Harding. Bruce, you another notch on the ladder tonight. You moved up the run.
Well, this is a playoff, and I thought our opponents came in here and played us real tough tonight. They took it to us, and first half they outslugged us.
Bruce, you know, we was counting first downs up there, and they did. They outplayed you. You know, you look up at the scoreboard, you guys won. It looked like a lopsided score, but it was a closer game than the score indicated. A lot of big breaks went your way. A lot of big plays went your way.
Sure did. I thought we came down here a little cocky. We didn't show the confidence you need as being a #1 ranked team. We didn't play like that tonight.
You know, Nick Maddox, I always mention him, got off to a great start with Justin Harding. You know, the 36-yard touchdown pass to Maddox, but then the 70-yard run late in the ball game, I think it iced it.
Well, they were trying to contain our toss sweep, and we just went more with the option. And when he read the contain people going upfield, he just read it and turned it up. And our tight end did a great job in our tackle blocking, and guards were able to get to the linebackers.
You know, you went in, guys, at the halftime. It wasn't a lopsided score by then. Still a close ball game in the first half. What did you tell the guys at halftime?
Well, what we kept doing is just shooting ourselves in the foot with penalties and things that you just don't do to win football games. And we were hurting ourselves, you know, and they were taking it to us. They came to us. I know one stretch, our offense stood over there on the sidelines for 8 minutes, and we didn't touch a football.
I was going to ask you about penalties. Seemed like an extraordinary large number of penalties tonight, uncharacteristic of a Kannapolis team, uncharacteristic of a Bruce Harding team. What was going on out there?
Well, that's my fault. I'm responsible for those things. I'm the head coach of the football team, and if we show good leadership, then I'm doing my job, and I need to do a little better next week.
Bruce, been a long, hard season. You know, you guys have done great. All of a sudden, plagued by injuries. You know, we saw Evar Johnson go out last week. Tonight, Jenkins goes out. What's the word on Jenkins?
It looked like a separated shoulder, and he was a lot of pain. He did it last week in practice the week of Concord, and it came back immediately. But tonight, they were afraid to try to put it back in, and the longer it stays out, the tougher. So we've had adversity like this all year. We have not had a full football team all year.
Bruce, probably a first for the Kannapolis team. Justin Harding outrushed the team second half.
Okay, well, I'm proud of him. I think he does a good job, and I hope he'll continue to learn and get some experience with these games.
Like you was telling the guys in the end zone a while ago, next week's another week. Everybody comes into the game 0-0, a tough opponent. They get tougher.
Yeah, you can't prance and dance in the playoffs. You got to be hard-nosed and tough, and if not, it's just all over. So hopefully we mature and learn something. I can do a better job as a coach next week.
Bruce, again, congratulations on another obstacle you've overcome. You got headliners this weekend and Friday night.
We'll be there. Thank you so much.
Hey, Bruce, thank you. Congratulations. Okay, guys, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Let's take a look at some Final numbers, is it was a wide open tonight, 60 points put up on the board, and boy, a lot of offense.
Sure was. I mean, look at those total numbers, fairly even. If you just look at this and don't know the score, you would think, man, this thing came down to the wire. And as Steve and Coach Harden talked about, it really did turn out to be much closer than the final score indicated. But look way down there at the bottom, 90 yards in penalties for the Wonders, and that's what Coach Harden was talking about. That's the kind of stuff that'll kill you in the playoffs, because everybody here is good, and you can't afford to do that kind of thing very much if you hope to advance. And also, they mentioned the injuries are starting to pile up a little bit for Kannapolis now. Hopefully they'll be okay and able to come back next week. But the Wonders get to stay at home as long as they keep winning.
Well, we're going to go back to the practice field as well. We'll see you Wednesday night at 8 o'clock for another edition of our playoff headliners. For Steve Gant and Woody Kane, I'm Randy Whitley on behalf of the entire Metro 12 production staff, thanking you for being with us this week.